Welcome to Muddy River News This Week, furnished by Harvey's. I'm Bob Gough. Chuck Miller is the director of the Quincy Regional Airport. He's still relatively new in the job, so we wanted to check with him and see how he liked Quincy. Welcome.
Thank you.
How do you like Quincy?
Relatively new. That was tactfully put for a guy that's
brand spanking new.
Just over 2 months, right?
That is new, yeah.
Most of the folks that we've met here feel like you're not really part of Quincy unless you've been here at least 3 generations.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah, my wife and I have always said that. We're both native Missourians. We've now had 3 children who have graduated from Quincy High School, but now I guess we have to have grandchildren who graduate from one of the schools before we're actually Quincyans.
So I have enjoyed the heck out of it here so far. The people have just been so warm and friendly, and that's. Let's face it, that's what makes it a place to live.
It is. It's a very friendly town, and yes, it is a little parochial still, but still, it's also a very welcoming community. Give me the quick elevator speech on your background.
Background. Well, if it's airport, I've done
airport related.
Yes. Yeah, I started out. I flew helicopters for a large nonprofit organization. Maybe you've heard of the Air Force?
Yeah.
They've never turned a profit.
It's a very nice. Yeah, it's a very good non-for-profit organization.
Right.
Good.
And to get out of a flying assignment I wasn't really interested in, I took an airport management position, and I loved it. And I decided that that's what I want to do when I grow up.
You came into Quincy at a time of transition. Because there are a lot of projects going on that you are now in charge of, and also we just now have a brand new essential air service provider that is already doing great things. It sounds like. Absolutely,
they are. When I got here, it was Cape Air had already stopped, although their contract ran out to the end of the month. And so we got to see a lot of frustrated, annoyed passengers left standing at the counter. And so far we haven't had one scheduled flight that didn't go. In
it's a week, but
short
still.
time. Yeah, 1 week.
Sure.
But still, that's pretty good. We've got more flights flown in the last week than we had in the last month.
And yes, we had a chance to have that interview with the folks at Southern. Our man Ron Kinscherf took care of that and talked with their representatives about what Chuck and I were just talking about. And here's Ron with that interview.
Ron Kinscherf with Muddy River News. We have Mark Cestari with Fly Southern. Big week this week for Fly Southern, Mark.
Opening day.
Why Quincy? Why'd you guys decide to choose Quincy?
Well, Quincy's part of the Essential Air Service Network, which basically the government ensures that small communities stay connected to the National Air Transportation System. And we bid on the route about 6 months ago, and after community input and Department of Transportation review, we were awarded the contract 6 weeks ago. And we had our first flight here 6 days ago on December 1st.
So, but what makes this community especially attractive to you as a company?
Well, it was a very good strategic fit for us here in Quincy because we are a small independent carrier, but we have partnership agreements called interline agreements with large airlines, including American Airlines and United Airlines. And both of those airlines have major domestic and international hubs at Chicago O'Hare. So this was a hop, skip, and a jump to Chicago. There's traditionally been service to Chicago from here, so we felt that there would be a natural affinity there. Also, there's a community of interest between here and St. Louis, both for local travel and sports games and that kind of thing, but also because Southwest Airlines has a major hub at St. Louis, and a lot of our customers enjoy flying Southwest because there's no bag fees, there's no change fees, and they're just a fun airline. So we were really attracted to Quincy because we're able to offer customers the best of both worlds, going to Chicago to the north and St. Louis to the west.
Is there an advantage to being a private organization versus the public when it comes to these type of things?
We think that being an independent carrier is a benefit because you can go on iflysouthern.com, our website, and you can put in UIN, the code for Quincy, and any destination around the world, and our website will find you the best connections, whether they be on American or United, or whether they be on another carrier. If you book on one of our interline partners, which are American, United, Hawaiian, and Alaska, our website will build for you your itinerary, sell you the ticket, and get you a confirmation code. And then if you need to make any changes or adjustment to either our flight or the major airline's flight, you can do it right through our customer care center, which is open 24 hours a day.
And you're very excited about the aircraft that you're going to be using for our community.
Our aircraft are small. We're a big company that flies small planes. Our planes are 9-seat. However, they have very big cargo components, cargo bins on them. So whether you're carrying golf clubs or skis, or you have big bags and you're going to Las Vegas, we're never going to leave your stuff behind. So it's a very sturdy aircraft. It's a very good aircraft in terms of customer comfort. The interiors accommodate big guys like him very well. Our aircraft actually has the most cubic footage per customer of any aircraft except for the 747. So it's a very comfortable ride. It's quick flights to both cities from here, and we think we're going to do very well with it here in Quincy.
Do you have any accuracy statistics or how? Hard time trying to word this, but as far as not flying, cancellation, stuff like that.
Well, system-wide, our goal for the company is to operate 99.3% of our flights reliably, and we've hit that mark every single month for the last 18 months. We have not been affected by the nationwide pilot shortage as much of the big airlines. And I'll tell you, for the first 6 days we've been in Quincy, we had 24 flights planned, and we have completed all 24. So we're not just operating 99.3, we're operating 100%.
Hey, thanks for the time. Welcome to Quincy.
Pleasure to see you. We look forward to being your hometown airline and seeing you on board Southern Airways.
Mark Cestari with Fly Southern.
I grew up, my grandfather was an aerial applicator. He did not like the term crop duster.
Okay.
And my dad's a pilot. I have cousins who were pilots. I never did. I went to college and then did other stupid stuff besides learn how to fly. So I've flown in single engine Cessnas and Pipers since I was this tall.
Right.
So I did not feel any of the angst that there tended to be when we went to the planes that Southern is using. I think they look great.
Well, actually, what you would find is the single engine Caravans that they're using right now, are one of the safest airplanes flying. You know, they're used all over Alaska, and I realize it's a different state. Well, Alaska has a lot of planes.
Yeah. Because it's big and it takes forever to get there, and all the cities are spaced apart. So if you don't fly,
if you don't fly, you don't get there.
Yeah.
Right. And so I've spent substantial time on the Caravans, and they got a ton of bag space because we had people that got bags bumped all the time on the previous. Plus, the Caravan, even though it's single engine, is slightly faster than the old airplanes that were used before. So it's nothing but a win for us.
Yeah, we've talked to the folks at Southern a great deal, and they're saying all the right things, doing all the right things. Let's hope we keep it up. But again, that was something that that whole transition was something that you've inherited, along with several of the projects going on. I guess one thing I wanted to talk about were the solar panels, and how far along are we on the solar panels, and what is going to be the benefit from those?
Well, all the panels are up now, and they're all wired in. Next Monday we have a outage Monday afternoon. They're going to actually change out the transformer to allow the power to come in from the solar panels. Next Friday, well, 1 week from tomorrow, the terminal should be using the power that's generated off those panels. And well, the desired result is that's all the power we'll be using is what's generated right there by our little solar farm.
Yeah, it's when you head out of town that way and you look at it, it's pretty cool. And I think it's something that everybody's trying to use alternative energy, and I think it's something that's great. And it's glad that the city has taken the step in that. You've also got a lot of runway construction going on out there, and I guess we're pretty close to having that done too, aren't we?
We do. The first two phases of the massive project that was planned well before I started here are being wrapped up right now. In fact, as we speak, my guys are out there doing an in-depth inspection on 0422, the longer runway, prior to us accepting that back from the contractor and calling it open.
And in talking with the people, not only again with dealing with just our commercial airline, but you've had a chance to talk to, I'm sure, all the people who have planes out there and who rent hangars or either have hangars out there. What has been their general response when you've gone out and kind of talked to them and said, hey, how are things going? How can I help?
Generally quite positive. In fact, I've been circulating our new snow removal plan. That was updated a bit, and I've had real good response from that.
And aside from that, I mean, when they come in, and I know they buy their fuel there and things like that. What else in their I mean, do most of them own the hangars, or do you have leases? How does that break down?
So for the smaller hangars, well, and the larger ones, all the hangars down there, most of the hangars down there are actually owned by the city. Mm-hmm. And so they're leased by the individual or by the corporations.
Okay.
Now, for the smaller airplanes, they're called T hangars, and all of those are leased.
Right. Okay. And with real quick back to just and again, I didn't have a chance to go to the event this week, but that you guys had, that Southern had for the kind of the announcement. But I saw the picture, the news release. That old conference room down there. Again, the whole building is cool, just the way it's designed and the whole mid-mod designs that people in Quincy really have an affinity toward. That old conference room that I've probably been in there 100 times for whenever some politician can't be bothered to come into town, but I'll fly to the airport and try to get on TV. Right. You fly, and that old conference room with the paneling and everything, it's just, you feel like you're going back to about 1970 when you walk in that thing.
Yes, exactly.
Any chance to refurbish that? Or people appreciate the quaintness and the step back into time?
Given the ability, my refurbishment project for that would start with a bulldozer.
Well, it's kind of be tough to do that. I mean, now when we have the news conferences and the gatherings out in the main lobby area there, that's cool. I mean, with the lighting and everything, it's really neat. But anytime anybody wants to slip down that conference room, I'm always like, well, why don't we just stay out here?
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah,
and there's a lot more room.
We had a good turnout yesterday, and I see that as a huge success for us, because a large part of my job at this point is getting the word out to the flying public that, hey guys, there's a new airline flying here, a new carrier. They're showing themselves to be reliable. They're on time. You can start planning on this again.
Yeah, I think that like you were talking before we started here, your job is to get people and planes in and out safely and efficiently. That's basically your job. Absolutely. Everything else is window dressing. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad you took some time to stop by. Please give my apologies for the mayor for bringing you away from some other duties. But again, if you don't keep the media happy, things tend up not to work out well for you. So you should remind the mayor of that. I will, yeah. All right. Dr. Miller, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
All right. That's all the time we have for now. I'm Bob Gough. See you next week.